You know, when you're a kid, you have a lot of nervous energy and you have to get it out some way. And you have this thing that they used to be able to do in school, well, up to a certain grade, called recess. And what do kids do when they have recess? They run around and do all kinds of crazy shit. And it's unstructured playtime for them. And kids need unstructured playtime. And over in Washington State School District, they banned a game that the kids were playing because they think somebody gonna get hurt. They banned the game of tag at recess, citing safety reasons. While at play, during especially at recess and unstructured time, students are expected to keep their hands to yourself. The rationale behind this is to ensure physical and emotional safety of all students. Really? Really, Director Marcy Grady, who told the local news station at Q13 Fox. Really? You think that playing tag is an emotional experience like, oh, this thing, I can't take anybody. You're it. Oh, no. Fucking A, man. It's fucking a game. Which children, if they want to play it, fucking let them play it. I mean, I played tag when I was a kid. I played it quite successfully. Only because I knew how to play the game. But...
Because you're a sneaky little
You
bastard.
fucking child beater.
I beat all the children. Yeah, that's when I was a child. I beat them all.
You
I won the game. I didn't get tagged.
Bully. A bully.
You heard it, folks.
I was
fair.
such a bully in school. If you believe that, I have oceanfront property in Colorado. I'll sell you dirt cheap too.
Oh, I bet the bullies loved you, Packard.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
That oceanfront property, that's part of your chemtrail plan.
That's part of my chemtrail plan. That's right.
Did you drop the chemtrails at this point?
Yeah, I've already dropped the chemtrails. We're spraying
good.
the 9th district now.
The 9th district. Good.
The community members created a Facebook group called Star MI Support Tag at Recess in Mercer Island to protest this decision. The tag and the other child-led games encourage independence and much-needed activity, says the group's description. Connie, your thoughts?
Since I've homeschooled my two youngest, I've actually been kind of out of touch with a lot of what happens in public schools, and my older kids were with their dads, so I wasn't involved in it, and I didn't realize. I mean, I'm looking at this story, and how long has it been that there's no touching?
Right.
My daughters have talked about that with their kids too in school. 2007, I see a story where there's like, well, we have a no touching policy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no hugging, no this, no that, and it was crowded schools. They said, well, that's the reason that they have it there. And I'm thinking, how unhealthy is this? Is this part of what we're doing? Is this part of how we're having socially distressed children? Is that you're told don't touch each other, don't hug, how messed up is this?
Yeah, don't interact with your other fellow students, because if you create a bond with them, then that's bad. Like,
well,
no.
What is this? Yeah, what is this? The Joseph Mengele school of thought.
Yeah.
We're gonna take all these kids and put them in cribs and just have them interact with themselves all day long. I mean, granted, I know kids can be mean. Dodgeball is a kind of a mean game. You have different games where people are being mean, but it's also socially how we learn to navigate the world, and we learn that, hey, that's not okay, but there's touch that's good. There's reasons that we're physical human beings, and if we don't interact with each other in some way, it's an incredible amount of control that they're trying to exert, and it's a bunch of time wasted by teachers and by the schools trying to regulate this. I can't believe they're majoring in minors.
Yeah.
It's really crappy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, you guys are, for as educated as you are, you're missing the point.
Right. Exactly.
So,
I agree with you. Anyway,
that's all I got to say.
Sure.
Sort of.
All right, Dave, your thoughts?
Yeah. So primates hug.
Yes, we do.
Like we're primates. Primates hug. Canines don't so much hug. Canines will tolerate a primate hugging them.
Mm-hmm.
Canines don't hug primates back.
No.
But primates, they hug. They have a physical and emotional necessity to touch one another. That's something that we primates and other primates have in common.
Right.
And we go to school, especially as developing primates, and we want to touch each other, and we want to play games where we have to try to avoid being touched.
Right.
That's schoolyard games.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I believe that it's part of the developmental process. Those sort of games are part of the developmental process of our species.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to deny us that or any other curiosity that children have is a disservice to education in general.
Yes. I quite agree. Like you said, we need to be able to express ourselves and be able to, have physical contact with each other every once in a while. I mean, we're not growing up in a situation where, like, we got to treat everybody else like they're living in a goddamn museum. Don't touch that. Don't touch this. Don't touch me. Don't touch everything. I mean,
that was the worst thing I heard as a kid. Don't touch that.
Don't touch that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, walking through a store, I wanted to touch. Was it soft? Was it hard? Was it, the clothing and all of these things? I mean, I wanted to experience. And I'm just thinking, Dave, it's funny because how many games involve touch? Even in the game of baseball or softball, the way that you get somebody out is you have to touch them with the ball. You have to.
Right.
There's so many things that. God, it blows my mind, and they're cutting that. That's weird.
Yeah.
The concern is for people being hurt, and
sure.
And I think it's understandable in a certain sense, in that as a parent you want to protect your child, but at the same standpoint, like, you can't protect your child all the time. You can't be a helicopter parent who, like, hovers upon your child and stands there and protects them from every single thing.
Right. Yeah, you can't protect your child forever. I mean, it's just not possible. George Carlin said it best. Like, they're trying to protect kids from everything nowadays. They have to wear a helmet for this, that, and the other thing. The only thing they don't have to wear a helmet for right now is for jerking off. I mean,
well, yeah.
But I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, children need to be able to have physical contact with each other once in a while. I mean, even if it's just the littlest touch. I mean, it's not like it's a big deal.
They just need to be children.
Yeah,
let
them be kids.
Realistic childhoods.
Exactly.
We're not completely separating them from the experiences that any other developmental primate has experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well,
and that's what modern society is,
normally.
shielding children from being natural children.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Karn was saying in the chat room, he says, you can't even play Duck, Duck, Goose for fuck's sake. Now, that one I really hated, actually. I hated that one because the kid would come around. He'd, like, touching everybody else. He'd come up behind me and shove my head, like, ah! It's like, hey, man, you're supposed to just tap me, not fucking shove my head into the dirt.
My favorite was 7-Up, when you put your head on the desk and then guessed who touched you.
I never heard of that one before.
You ever
Oh,
play
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Never heard of that one before. I live in the middle of nowhere, remember?
Oh, in elementary school, I loved it. It was like there were 3 people at the front of the class, and everyone else put their head down, and then the 3 people went around, and, like, some kids, 3 kids in the class got tapped, and those ones had to guess who tapped them.
How would you know who tapped you? I mean,
you pay attention to the sound of their shoes, or maybe.
Oh, okay, all right.
You're paying attention to the things around you. It's like it's really good sensory.
Okay,
kind of
no, that makes sense.
test,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought maybe it's like there's some kind of, like, weird voodoo that's supposed to be involved.
Oh, it's a psychic test.
It's psychic text.
I'm
reading their mind.
And look at their shoes.
Dave,
You cheater.
you're a cheater. I like that. That's how you win. You got to cheat.
Well, as far as people playing right or playing fair, for my entire time when I was a parent raising young children, when there would have adults getting together, I would usually go where the kids were, and I would sit down and read a magazine or read a book, And sometimes I'd play with the kids, but I'd usually just be there to watch. And if play got out of hand, I would just say something. You don't want to stop play. You don't want to tell somebody, if there's a conflict, that's what we're there to do as adults. We're there to teach them how to resolve conflict. And
Right.
if it becomes escalated, I would try to prevent it from escalating to the point where there was somebody getting physically harmed.
Right.
And that's how and I modeled good play and good behavior by getting down there and playing with the kids. To me, that seemed to make the most sense. And so that's my advice to most adults who have kids. Is just like, you're not going to prevent everything. That's not the point. It's just, they're learning. They are baby primates, and they're going to pull hair. These things are going to happen. And at that point, you just say, oh, no, we can't do that, And if they don't listen, then the other kids will teach them really fast that,
Oh, yeah.
you're not going to do that to me, So, but yeah, that's the problem. I think sometimes maybe the teachers and the schools are just overwhelmed. I don't know how many kids come to school with enough social skills, to know what is acceptable and what's not. So I don't know, but it's a weird thing that they're discouraging it when that's exactly that's gonna boomerang and backlash. Because that's exactly what they need to learn. like Dave's been pointing out too, that's what we do,
Yeah.
So.
Doc and Jog from the chairman says, I got reprimanded at school for playing doctors and nurses, which seemed unfair as I'd almost managed to get the kid's kidney out. You played doctor at a whole different level than I did. I played doctor at a whole different level. David, do you have any last thoughts on this?
No, I'm trying to block out you're playing doctor.